Well, good evening, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us tonight as we talk about return to cruising with Royal Caribbean. We've been doing these virtual events now for about a year, and this, I think, is the fourth one we've done with Royal Caribbean. But the big difference is tonight, as we talk about cruising, we're really delighted to announce that some ships are actually sailing. So that is really big progress. Also, really great to hear in the news tonight that quarantine-free travel from amber destinations for those people who have been vaccinated is probably going to start on the 26th of July. So today we have a special sale starting with Royal Caribbean where you can also save up to $350 where you get that as an onboard credit. And I know that a lot of people who are on tonight's call have got future cruise certificates, maybe from cancelled cruises over the last couple of years. Now, at Oasis Cruising normally accounts for about 35% of our business, but actually in the last couple of months, our new business, 50% of it has been cruise. So it just shows how much people have missed their cruising and how much they're really looking forward to having something in the future to look forward to. Tonight's host really needs no introduction for those of you who have sailed with Royal Caribbean before. It's Jenny Callister from Royal Caribbean. So it's lovely to see you, Jenny, tonight. So we're switching her camera. Jenny, thanks very much. Thank you so much for joining us. Jenny, it's really, really great to see the ships sailing on the water again and more positivity in the market. And it's great to see that future bookings for cruising are really picking up. We're delighted about that. So thanks so much for joining. For anybody who has any questions, please send them. You can email them either to inquiries@oasis-travel.co.uk, and I'll look out for those and we can take those at the end, or just pop your question into the Q&A box and we'll take those now. But I just hand over to you, Jenny, and thanks again for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Sandra, and thank you to Oasis Travel for organising this evening. I'm delighted to be able to come on to talk about Royal Caribbean. Unfortunately, I'm not in this beautiful island in the Bahamas called Coco Cay. I'm in Greystones in County Wicklow in Ireland, so it's not a sunny day out there at all. But it's lovely to see the ships back in the water again. And I was on a call this morning with Miami, where our head office is, and we actually have 21 ships in the ocean at the moment, back sailing again, which is amazing. And that's across all our brands, which would include Celebrity and Silver Sea as well, and Azamar. So it's so exciting to hear that many ships are back in the water again. So I'm actually now going to just share my screen with you so I can start the presentation this evening. So delighted, as I said, to come along this evening. And can you believe that Royal Caribbean, we are 51 years in business, which is really extraordinary. And right now we've 25 ships in the whole fleet. And for those of you that have sailed with us, or those of you that haven't sailed with us, you will know that Royal Caribbean is really for everybody. It's for every family, every sort of family, every age, and it's for couples as well. So it's for everybody. And we really say it's multi-generational. There's something to do on every single ship for everybody. So in 22, we will be back sailing with all our ships. And I really believe by the end of this year and over the next couple of months, we will be back sailing all our ships. It's just gone from 0 to 21 ships in a very, very short time. And I remember Richard Fain, our chairman, saying when we come back, it'll come back really, really quickly. And he really was right. And we'll continue to sail all around the world. And you can see all the key areas we go to here on the map. So we'll be going to Australia, New Zealand, Asia, the Caribbean, of course, the Bahamas and Bermuda. We've 8 ships there. We're actually going to have 4 in Alaska, which is the most we've ever had. And actually, we're going to start sailing in Alaska again in July and August this year, which is fantastic. And we're going to have a very large amount of ships in Europe this year, or next year, should I say. It was 7, and we've actually increased it to 8. And I will go through all those ships and just touch on the itineraries they do as we go through the presentation. As Sandra said, if you have any questions, please pop them into Sandra and I'll cover them at the end of the presentation. It's probably going to take me probably about half an hour or so just to go through everything I have to talk about. I always have so much to talk about with Royal Caribbean because there's so much going on all the time. I think one of the key things really for us is that, you know, our staff on board the ship are incredible, and they've really been trained to the highest level. And the concept we have really in the whole training program is called the Royal Way. And there's three sort of pillars of service that we work around. And the first one is, you know, making sure that everyone is friendly on board the ship, passionate about what they do and about giving service to a customer, and also committed to looking after a customer as well. And I know there is a few people that I know that have sailed in the last couple of weeks, and they said that the staff are just, they're so delighted to have customers back on board again. And the atmosphere on board the ships is incredible right now. So the whole focus for all the Royal staff is to look after the customer. And even in places like the kids clubs, all our staff in the kids clubs and the teen clubs, they all have degrees in childcare, and they have worked for up to 5 years with the different age groups before they're able to come on board. So you can see they're all really highly trained. The staff ratio as well is 3 to 1. So there's 1 staff member for every 3 guests on board our ship. So the service really is second to none. I also wanted to draw your attention to these awards we've won. Now, some of these are going back to 19 because that's the last time these ceremonies, these awards ceremonies would have happened. And we would have won the best cruise line awarded by the Trade Media, which is the Northern Ireland Travel Awards. And then the Trade Media, Travel Media Awards, we won the best cruise line in 2019. And then the Irish Independent, which is a yearly event. This just literally happened before COVID came in March. This would have been in January, and we won Ireland's favourite cruise line. So we've really won a lot of awards, and we consistently win awards across our trade partners, with our consumers, indeed yourselves voting for us, and also the trade media. And we never take these for granted. We're over the moon to receive any award for our service. I just want to touch a little bit on Royal Caribbean and our return to service, because right now we do have ships. We've got 2 ships in Europe at the moment that have just started to sail, and a lot of customers are asking what is life like on board, or what are the new protocols in place. Now, as you know, everything is changing by the minute, but the protocols I'm going to talk about now are what are on the ships right now. But if we're talking about next year, these could all change. But some of the main things, actually, before I touch on that, just to talk, I said that ships were on. Ships had gone into the water already in the Med. The 2 ones that have gone in are Anthem of the Seas, which started to sail. So she did like what we call a shakedown cruise at the weekend that went very well. And we've got our first cruise passengers on it now. In the last 2 days. So she's sailing now on the itinerary going around the British Isles. Jewel of the Seas also had a shakedown at the weekend, and our first passengers sail on that this Saturday, which is fantastic. And I'll talk about both of those as we go through the presentations and what offers we have right now. Quantum of the Seas in Singapore, believe it or not, started to sail last November. So she has been sailing very, very successfully over the last number of months. And Adventure and Vision are back sailing as well in the States. And actually there's quite a few ships sailing now from Florida and doing some of the Caribbean islands. So the protocols, some of the things that we have in place, the first thing is staggered arrival time. So now we now have an app that we'll be asking people to download onto their phones before their cruise, and lots of information will be sent to you by this form of communication. So the first thing is we'll have staggered arrival times. So you will select, you can see there, you'll have a lot of different arrival times. You'll select an arrival time for wellness check, but you must stick to that time, because if you miss it, it can mean you might be delayed boarding, which means there's a limited number of people in the check-in area. And by all accounts, last weekend I would have spoken to quite a few people, staff members, customers, and also just some trade partners that were on the ship, and they said it worked really quite smoothly at the weekend. So that was really good to see. You'll also be sent a health questionnaire that a guest has to fill out within 24 hours of sailing. So if there is any concerns with any of the questions, there's an email address to get back to you and a phone number if you have any concerns, or if you answer, if you have some of the symptoms maybe that are mentioned. So there's always somebody there to help you. And then you will get a boarding pass as part of this app, which you will present. You'll present when you complete your health questionnaire at the check-in at the pier as well. So these are some new check-in requirements. And then what's really good, so for those of you that have sailed before with us, we have a whole new concept with regard to the muster drill. And we were talking about this earlier, saying that we should have brought this in years ago. So this is all now done more or less electronically. So it's called a new muster 2.0, we're calling it. And there's two important aspects to this. The safety information will be offered to the guests through an e-muster technology on their phones, as well as on their interactive stateroom TVs. So it'll come in on your phone, but it'll also be on your TV if you want to use that form. And there's a 4-step approach, very simple. And the 4-step approach is required. The first thing, it must be done before the ship departs. So you can do it on the ship, but it must be done before the ship departs. So you just have to watch a video either on your phone or in your interactive stateroom TV. Each individual guest must visit their assigned muster station to, so they must actually go to the muster station, but then that's where they'll be verified that they have completed this drill. And the great thing about it is now there's a 4-hour window time to do this. So 4 steps in 4 hours. And we're just trying to make it as flexible as possible. So gone are the days on Royal Caribbean where everybody on the ship goes to their muster stations at one time. So it's just simple. You need to watch a video and electronically it'll show that you've done that. You just go to your muster station over a 4-hour window when you're on the ship. That could be maybe after you've had your lunch or when you've unpacked your bag, and as long as you do that, then that's your muster drill done. So that's made life a lot easier. And then on board the ship, a couple of other things. We've got now our new HVAC systems, which continuously intakes 100% fresh air in indoor rooms and areas. And just to give you an idea of how many times that the air is changed, the public areas will be 15 to 20 times and staterooms will be 12 times per hour. And to give you an idea of what that would be like on land, in a normal shopping centre, the air is changed twice within an hour. So as you can see, it's significantly more. They'll be starting to use, or they've started to use, medical grade cleaning standards. So it's just new protocols in place, and we're using hospital grade disinfectant and also washing things at higher temperatures like your towels and sheets. Also, there is upgraded medical facilities on board all the ships now. So more doctors and nurses with more equipment, and we also have sound care plans in place. And one of the most important things is the last point here, which is the safely timely return in any scenario. So in every port we go into, every country that we sail into, we've partnered with local authorities, which we would do anyway, but we've developed safety and transport protocols to get people home safely. So if something did happen to somebody and they needed to get home or be taken off the ship, then we have a whole load of protocols in place, and that's very, very important. So I just wanted to really touch on those very briefly. The ships now are sailing at about 50% capacity. I know the first few sailings we didn't do even the 50%. I think we've had maybe about 1,000 people on the ships for the first few sailings, just to test all the protocols, but they will be up to 50% in the next couple of weeks. Obviously the social distancing protocols on the ship, and there is mask wearing in certain areas of the ship. One of the other important things right now as well is that anybody sailing with us right now, they have to be doubly vaccinated if they're over 18 years of age. And if they're under 18 years of age, they have to have a negative PCR test. So these are the protocols we have in place right now on Anthem sailing around the UK, and on Jewel, one of our ships that's going to be sailing from, starting to sail from Limassol in Cyprus this week. So they could very well be very different, or you know, maybe a lot of these protocols won't be in place as we move into 22, but it's constantly changing, but this is what we have right now. So leading right along from that then is just to let you know that Anthem had a very successful sailing at the weekend, as we call it a shakedown, just to test everything. And she is now on her first revenue cruise sailing around the British Isles. So she started on the 7th. Which I think is actually, that's yesterday. So in the incredible Quantum class ship Anthem is sailing, and she's doing 4 to 8 nights around the British Isles. She is going to places like Liverpool, Scotland, and I know some of the itineraries call in Belfast actually. So if you want to see Anthem, you can go to your local port and see her there. So as I said just a while ago, it's opened to UK and Northern Ireland residents who are fully vaccinated and are 2 weeks over their last vaccination, and those under 18 years of age with a negative test result. And all the crew is fully vaccinated as well. So just to add an extra layer of security. So that is Anthem of the Seas, and she has balcony cabins right now at $799 per person. And as Sandra mentioned, we start today an onboard credit flash sale. Perfect timing for our event tonight. Starts today and goes right through until Monday close of business. So that is available, and I'll go through full details towards the end of the presentation when I'm talking about the offers, and I'll go through the campaigns as well that we have right now. So I'm just touching on some. I'm going to fly through the next few slides. These are just some of the wonderful things that are on Anthem of the Seas. If anyone's interested in sailing on her this summer, or indeed, remember, she's sailing in 22 as well from Southampton. Loads of activity for every age group on the ship. The North Star is one of my favorite, which is a bit like the London Eye, going 350 feet up into the air. It's fantastic. We've got the Flow Rider there. And of course, we've things like bumper cars. And we have the Ripcord by iFly, which is the simulation, iFly, which is the simulation skydiving experience, which is fantastic. Loads of activities on Anthem. So these are some of the activities on board the ship. And of course, we've got all these amazing areas as well. We've got the Flow Rider, we've got the pools, these are all water-based. We've the adult-only solarium, which is one of my favorite places, especially when I sail with my kids, although they are teenagers, but it's nice to escape into the solarium. And then we've a great little mini water park for children really 12 and under. And remember, the favorite dining, favorites dine, so much food on board Anthem of the Seas. The Windjammer, of course, is the self-service, but right now, the staff actually serve you, but everything is exactly the same, but you're just served it rather than you being able to help yourself. Sorrento's is there, of course, for pizza right through until about 2 o'clock in the morning. And we've got the main dining room as well, which offers fantastic choice of food every evening. So lots of choice on Anthem. Even more here as well. These would be our speciality dining, which means that we've got a little extra charge for those. One of my favorites, of course, is Jamie's Italian. It's about $20 there to have lunch. We've also got Chops Grill, which is amazing for steaks. And one of my favorites is Wonderland. So if you're a little bit more adventurous about food, this is a really amazing experience in an amazing restaurant. So great speciality dining. Lots of night bars and lounges right throughout the ship. Boleros is one of my favorites for salsa dancing. And of course, the Schooner Bar. Love the Schooner Bar, where there's a pianist there every evening and you can sort of sit around him while he's singing and, you know, sing to your heart's content. One of my favorite places on the ship. And of course, we still have our show-stopping shows. We Will Rock You is the show, the Broadway style show on Anthem. And one of my favorites as well is 270, that amazing area at the back of the ship that has the electronic screens and the robotic screens that work in conjunction with the live show, and it's really is spectacular. So lots of great shows on Anthem of the Seas. And don't forget as well, you're all familiar with all the different cabin types on board the Anthem. You've got your interior, your ocean views, your balconies, but don't forget we've virtual balconies as well, which is an interior stateroom, but it's got a TV on it that makes it look like on the wall, and it makes it look like a virtual balcony. And we've cameras outside the ship, which shows you a live view of what's going on outside. So you can see, hopefully the weather is sunny, but you can see what the weather's like. You can also see if you're in port. So they're great. They're great. And I've stayed in those myself, and they really are quite unique. And you can turn it off. So it's not like you've got to leave it on all the time. So I'm actually just going to stop sharing now, because I have a lovely little video to show you, which is just talking about Europe and telling you all the different places we're going to go to in Europe. So hopefully we'll be able to play this now. Wow, what a great video. I love that video. And that gives you a really good feel for Europe and where we're going to be in 22. Here we go. So these are the ships that have just been covered in that video. And as you can see, we've actually got 7 ships in Europe in 22. And we've just added an additional ship last week, bringing it up to 8 ships. And I'm going to go through them all just very, very briefly with you. Allure of the Seas obviously would be our big ship in Barcelona for 2022. And Oasis it's an Oasis class ship. And the Oasis class ships, as you know, they hold the record for being the world's largest cruise ships. And they've won loads of awards, and they really are ranked the best ships in the world for couples and families. And Allure is fantastic that she's back in Barcelona next year. It's got 7 unique neighborhoods, from a breezy area called Central Park to a glitzy area called Entertainment Place, where all the entertainment happens. And there really is so much to do in every area, and a huge amount of dining options as well. So whether you're traveling with your significant other or the whole extended family, or with some of your best friends, really Allure is just incredible. And she's actually going to be doing the Western Med, calling in on places like Mallorca, Naples, Florence and Rome, and she's sailing from Barcelona. And Odyssey of the Seas is our brand new shiny ship. She is a Quantum Ultra class ship, and she has just come into the fleet literally in the last couple of weeks. And she is now down in Florida at the moment, and she's going to be sailing very, very soon. So she's brand new, but she's going to be sailing She's going to be sailing from Rome, and she's proven to be really, really popular. Going to be doing the Greek Isles, calling in places like Mykonos, Naples, and Santorini. But then there's a couple of longer itineraries where she calls in on Israel, and she goes to Jerusalem, and they have some overnights there. So if anyone's interested in that area of the world, Odyssey of the Seas, sailing from Rome, will be doing some longer itineraries at the beginning and the end of the season. We've got Brilliance, of course, sailing out of Venice, one of our most popular ships, and she will be Brilliance will be sailing and doing the Greek Isles as well, Mykonos, Santorini, but she's also going to be doing Montenegro and Croatia as well, which people are quite keen on seeing. And of course, the lovely Anthem, which I spoke about earlier, she's back sailing out of Southampton. She tends to do longer itineraries in the Med, in the Western Med, and also Northern Europe. And then we've got Voyager of the Seas, sailing out of Copenhagen, and she's been selling really well over the last couple of weeks. People love these itineraries, covering Sweden and Denmark, but also they go to St. Petersburg and they do overnights in St. Petersburg, which makes it really, really popular. We've got Vision as well, sailing out of Barcelona as well, and she's going to be doing some of the European cities and also covering Palma de Mallorca. And then the last one here is Jewel, sailing out of Amsterdam, and she's going to be doing Spain, Malaga, but also going to Iceland, which is something a little bit different and very popular. And she also calls in on Monte Carlo, which is really popular. So lots of great ships, all different types for everybody. Smaller ships, the bigger ships like Allure, and then Odyssey of the Seas, a brand new ship, similar to our other Quantum class ships. And the big news from last week is Rhapsody of the Seas. So Rhapsody is a very popular ship with Irish guests, and she has been sailing out of Venice for the last number of years. So they're giving us another ship in 22, and she's going to be sailing out of Venice. But what this is a little bit different. What she's doing is what we call them open jaw itineraries, which means she will sail from one port and go back to another. So you can, I'm not sure if you can see some of the itineraries on the right hand side, but you can see the first one there is departing from Rome and then returning to Athens. The next one underneath is Venice, which is Ravenna, Venice to Barcelona, and then we've Athens to Venice, and then we've Barcelona to Rome. So they're like two center holidays. So you can have a couple of days in a city, go on a cruise ship, and get off in another city. I think these are really, really going to be really popular, and they're proving to be really popular. They just went on sale last week, and it really is island hopping around the Med in 22. And Rhapsody of the Seas is a mid-sized ship. She was refurbished a few years ago, and she'll be a great asset, and I think it's going to be really popular. So that's Rhapsody of the Seas. They're just some additional pictures of Allure, and these are some of the things that she has won over the last couple of years. The best large cruise ship, best for entertainment, and best for individual ship. And you can see this slide, it just goes to show you what there's to do for everyone, from mom and dad to the kids to the teens, to granny, to dad, to mom, and to the kids. So there's something for absolutely everybody on the ship. And I've got some great offers, per person offers, and some family offers towards the end of the presentation. So that's Allure of the Seas, sailing out of Barcelona in 22. So we launched Barbados a couple of months ago, and it's proving to be really, really popular. So we're really excited to be in Barbados, and the itineraries are quite amazing, and the product has proven to be really, really popular. We've wanted to go to this destination for a long time, so we're starting to sail on the 5th of December, and it's going to go right through until the 17th of April. And the ship we're going to be using is going to be a Grandeur of the Seas. She's a mid-sized ship, but we're also going back. We just announced as well that we're going back for winter 22 and 23 as well. So both this winter right through until the springtime and the following year. So she's a mid-sized ship, perfect for a place to go back to in the evenings. And there's a huge amount of itineraries. We're offering 3 unique itineraries. We have a 7-night Southern Caribbean island hop, a 7-night Southern Caribbean island Caribbean adventure, and then lastly we have 14-night Ultimate Caribbean. So it's absolutely incredible the amount of islands that these itineraries go on. So you're going to be busy going into all of these different islands every day. The flights we're offering from Belfast is with British Airways to Heathrow. It's a 9-hour flight to Barbados, so it's quicker than flying to Miami. And the ship doesn't sail until 10 p.m. in the evening, so you've plenty of time to get there the same day if you want to. And the great thing about it is that the minute you wake up, you're going to be in one of the Caribbean islands. And it's the first time that we've sailed it from a Caribbean island, because normally you'd be sailing from Miami or Fort Lauderdale. So all ports of call are in the Caribbean islands, so you don't need an ESTA. So I think that's really good. And it really is the perfect place for pre and post cruise. So I thoroughly recommend considering a cruise and stay package, that if you're going to go for a week, that you spend a couple of days on the island. And I know Sandra's been to the island, so she can tell us a little bit about that later on. And I know she loves Barbados, so a huge amount of itineraries there. And again, I'm not going to go through all the activities on the ship and the areas for dining and entertainment, but I've just put some of them down here on the slide. There's a huge amount of choice there, from unbeatable dining. There's loads of activities. Again, we've our pools and our solariums. We have a spa and we've the casino there as well, and a huge amount of entertainment, including an outdoor movie screen, which would be amazing to sit around having a cocktail, watching something in the evening time, and live music in the Viking Crown Bar, and of course the theatre as well, and the central atrium. But these are some of the fast facts on your left hand side, so you can see some of those with the number of guests and crew on board the ship. So lovely mid-sized ship, and a lovely ship to go back to at the end of the day. So want to talk now a little bit about our amazing island in the Caribbean, in the Bahamas. And we've had it for years, but it's gone through a major revamp, and it opened in May 19, so it was only starting to be used. I know our first ship was there at the weekend, especially for the 4th of July, Freedom of the Seas sailed from Miami, and she called in Perfect Day. And I was on a call this morning where some of our senior leadership team were on the island, and they said it looks absolutely amazing, and they're really excited to have guests coming back on the island again. Everywhere looks really lush now because all the new planting has really come into fruition, so it looks absolutely amazing. And I'm going to stop sharing now because I have one more of my last video on this presentation, and it's going to transport you to Coco Cay. Wow, that looks absolutely amazing. Who doesn't want to be there right now? I know I do. So what I'm going to do is just go through, just touch on some of the features on the island, and just have a few stills so you can actually see it in a little bit more detail. And these are actually real pictures of the island that would have been taken over the last, I guess, over the last year. And when we had guests on it, although there's no guests there from what I can see. So this is the Oasis Lagoon. It's the largest freshwater pool in the Caribbean, and it really offers loads of activities to appeal to all ages. And you can see that one cove has sloping entry, which is perfect for families and small kids, whereas another cove will offer an expansive swim-up bar with 23 water seats. You can see where I'm where my arrow is here, and you can see the seats are in the water there. Wouldn't you love to be sitting there with a cocktail in your hand? So the swim-up coves features in-water tables and seating. There's loungers that line the edge of the pool. And in the distance as well, you've got the snack shack, which serves complimentary burgers, hot dogs, salads, and more. So obviously everything on the island, the vast majority of things are complimentary. So all your food is complimentary on the island. If you're on a drinks package or Wi-Fi, that rolls onto the island as well. And things like your deck chairs and your umbrellas and towels, they're all complimentary. So that is the Oasis Lagoon. And the next is Splashaway Bay. So this is really for, I guess, smaller age group of children. So I'm guessing 12 and under, but I'm sure you'll have adults in this as well. So it's just a fun area with, you know, water cannons, a drench bucket and slides and everything that young kids like. And that's Splashaway Bay. And that's obviously, this is all complimentary. So the one thing there's a charge for is the Thrill Water Park. So this is a water park that you'd have to pay into. It's very similar to what you would pay on land in like Orlando, what a water park would be. I believe it's like maybe about $50. You can buy half-day passes as well, but it's amazing water park. It's got 2 water towers with 13 slides, which is what you're looking at now. And then there's Daredevil's Peak, which is the tallest slide in North America, 135 feet high. I don't think I would be I would actually be in that, but great water park. There's definitely 2 sides to the island. There's the thrill side, which obviously is the water parks, and then there's the chill side, which has the beach area and has lots of other facilities as well. So I think I'll be spending a lot of time on the chill side. The next feature on the island is a wave pool. So again, in true Caribbean style, it's the largest wave pool in North America. And this is part of the Thrill Water Park as well. So if you pay to go into the water park, this is part of it. Obviously, there's complimentary towels and beach chairs there as well. And there's a snack shack as well in there serving, you know, things that people want for their lunch, like burgers and hot dogs, salads and more. And then we have a great balloon, which is called Up, Up and Away. And this is one of the signature attractions. It's a giant helium balloon, and it floats up to 400 feet into the air, and it really has the highest vantage points in the Bahamas, and you can see all around the island. And again, there's a small charge for that. And then the next thing we have a zip line as well, which crisscrosses the whole island. It's 50 feet high. It's 1,600 feet long, and it lands in water as well, which is quite cool. And again, loads of choice. I talked about the snack shack. We also have this huge big area called Skipper's Grill. Again, this is complimentary, and as you can see, there's a huge amount of seating there as well. So this is one of the island's main dining venues. It's got harbour front views, and it's just next to Splashaway Bay, which is the small water park that's complimentary for the kids. And they do salads and snacks, burgers, fresh fruit, desserts. So there's a huge choice of food. There is also an a la carte menu as well, which offers people more choice. And also there's a whole beach area here as well, South Beach, and lots of areas. There's the swim area, which is on the left hand side, you can swim out to, and there's a bar out there. But they also do things like yoga and Zumba on the sand. There's volleyball, soccer and basketball, things like paddling boards and glass bottom kayaking. You can do those, a small cost for those. And there's 3 bars down in that area and a snack shack as well. So amazing. We also have an exclusive beach experience, which is this beach club. So this is now all finished. It's completely finished now, which is incredible. So it's an exclusive beach club that we have, and you can see these amazing overwater cabanas. So it's got premium amenities in it and authentic Caribbean food. There is an entrance fee, but once you get in, your dining is included, and your dining and your obviously your beach towels and your sun lounges and everything. So there's an entrance fee, but there's an infinity pool, and obviously it's a private beach club. The great thing about it is as well is that they have these overwater cabanas. We've got cabanas that are on the beach, and we've also got some that are actually out in the water. So they're just incredible. There is a charge for these cabanas, but you can see some of them here. These are the overwater ones. How cool do they look? You've got butler service there for the day, and obviously there's complimentary water and drinks there for the day when you rent it. And how cool is that to have a water slide into the water? So these are really cool cabanas, and they're now available for rent on the island. So it's a really amazing island. Most of the itineraries from Port Canaveral, from Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and even the sailings from New York, they all have a stop off in Coco Cay, and most of them are staying quite late into the evening as well. So you probably won't leave until about 10 or 11 o'clock. Obviously you can go back to the ship and get dressed and have your dinner, get dressed and have your dinner on board and come back out again. There's a great atmosphere on board the ship. There's talk in the future of maybe the ship overnighting there, but not right now. But it's an amazing island, and I haven't been there myself, so I'm looking forward to getting there at some stage as we go into 22. So that's all I have on the product side of things. The next few slides are just going to talk about the offers that we have right now. And they're going to have the onboard credit on each offer just to show you what you would get on that particular date and the price. And then I'm just going to recap on everything and just talk a little bit about the campaigns. And if you have any questions, please do ask. So some of the offers I have, I'm going to talk about Allure. We talked about Allure sailing from Barbados, our Oasis class ship. These are the biggest cruise ships in the world that we have. So our prices right now, I'm looking at 22. The 15th of May there for 7 nights, flying from Dublin, just over £1,000. Based on 2 adults sharing per person, and that includes if you book it before close of business Monday, you'll get $75 onboard spend. And with onboard spend you can use it for either buying drinks on board or using it towards excursions or drinks package or whatever you want. You can use it. It's a credit you have on your account. And then we have a great family offer here, 19th of June next year, flying from Dublin, just over £4,000, which is fantastic. And remember, these are all flight crews, so they includes your flights, your bag per person. It's normally 20 kilos, sometimes it's 23. It's whatever the different airlines offer, and includes your transfers. So it's an all-in package. So that's just over £1,000 per person. That's a family of 4 with $75 on board spend for Allure. And then some other nice Mediterranean ones I just pulled out. So really popular, the Greek Isles and Croatia in May, just over £1,000. These are all based on interiors, and these were based on interiors as well. So this is $75 on board spend, which is fantastic. And this is one of the great bargains we have at the moment. So we have a couple of dates where we have balconies for the same price as an ocean view, and this is one of them. So this includes $100 on board spend because you're booking a balcony. So this is a balcony stateroom on Odyssey, brand new ship, which I spoke about earlier, 17th of June 22, and it's doing 6 nights from Rome, and it's doing the Greek Isles. So that's a brilliant price for a balcony at 1295 fly cruise. And then discover the Canaries Cruise. This is Anthem. This is a cruise only price here, and it is just over 1,500. But remember, that is for 12 nights on Anthem of the Seas, which is an incredible ship. And I told you all about Anthem earlier. She really is a beautiful ship. So that's some of our great offers for the Med for next year. and so somewhere a little bit different. Caribbean and Bahamas in particular, really great price coming in here at Grandeur of the Seas. It's 13th of March 22. So wouldn't that be lovely to have that to go off to in the winter or early spring next year? Just over 1,300 flights are with British Airways. That includes your flights and your transfers and your bags. So it's a really, really good price. And look at those amazing islands it's going to, leaving from Bridgetown and going to lovely places like Tobago, Grenada, Trinidad, Kingston, lovely, lovely places. So that is Grandeur of the Seas with $75 on board spend. And bucket list stuff here, Alaska. Ovation of the Seas is exactly the same type of ship as Anthem, so it's a quantum class ship, and that is a great experience for 9 nights. Includes 1 night pre, as you can see there in the tiny writing, so 1 night in a hotel in Seattle, flying out and back to Seattle, and it's just 1,445 for an interior. We've got 4 ships in Alaska next year doing amazing itineraries. Seattle is a beautiful city, so you could add a few nights onto the 1 night pre or post your cruise, but as a really, really great price on a fabulous ship for something a little bit different, Alaska. And then I did put in a Perfect Day here, one is a family offer, and this is Symphony of the Seas, which is an Oasis class ship, but one of our newest ones, and she's sailing out of Miami and she's doing the Caribbean, and this is an Eastern Caribbean itinerary, also calling in Perfect Day, and a family of 4 is just over £4,500, which is incredible price as well, and that has $75 on board spend on it. And then the last offer I just want to tell you about is Cyprus, because I know some of you may be interested in going away this summer, and I know tentatively there's a date there, looming date of the 22nd of July, but we have charter flights flying from the UK, from Manchester, from Scotland, from Birmingham and from Gatwick, and we've chartered the flights flying directly to Limassol in Cyprus, and you can see the itinerary there. It's going around the Greek Isles, beautiful itinerary. So 14th of August, if anyone wanted to go, this is flying from Manchester, 7 nights, 969 per person, and that's your flight from the UK. So you'd have to get yourself to the UK to get on one of our charter flights, but there's a whole program there for July and August from lots of different airports around the UK. So if anyone is interested, there's a really nice one for you. And just to recap on the campaigns then, so right now the campaign, I know there's a lot of detail on this slide, but right now the campaign is for the month of July, is a savings offer. So it's a saving of up to £120 off for 6 nights and more, which most people would be going on. But as Sandra and I said, this weekend, starting today until close of business Monday, we're giving up to $300 on board spend. So you can see for an inside and ocean view, it's 75, it's 100 for balcony, and deluxe it's 300. But for anyone that's on here tonight, we're giving an extra $50 on board credit, but you must book with any of the Oasis travel shops before Saturday. So that's this Saturday, close of business, the 10th of July, to get that extra $50. So that's up to $350, so you can get quite a lot on board the ship for $350. So just remember, if you want the extra $50, you must book with Oasis Travel by close of business on the 10th. So there's a huge variety of offers for you, and the last thing I just want to touch on, that if you book by the 31st of July, we have our Cruise with Confidence in place, which means for sailings up until the 30th of April right now, and this may get extended. Basically what the Cruise with Confidence means, it just gives you security that if you did need to change anything, that you can cancel your cruise up to 48 hours before the sail date in exchange for 100% future cruise credit, which probably be more than likely your deposit, or you can get a best price guarantee up to 48 hours before this sailing, ensuring you get the best deal. So that's in place until the end of July for sailings up until the 30th of April 22. So what makes Royal different from everybody else? I really do believe we've got ships like no others right now. And it's amazing that some of them are now back sailing again. I really feel really excited about that. We definitely have the best entertainment and activities, food and dining experience. And drink experience like no other, and adventures like no other, especially when you see our private island in the Bahamas like Coco Cay. So thank you very much to everybody for listening this evening. I know I've talked for quite a long time. We always have a lot to talk about in Royal Caribbean. I hope I've given you a little feel for what's in store for you all for this summer, for those that wish to go away. And we have a huge program for next year. So thank you for your time. And I'm going to stop sharing the presentation now. And I'll pass it over to you, Sandra.
Yeah, Jenny, look, that was absolutely brilliant. And I think whenever you look at the value that cruising represents, it's not hard to understand why cruising represents over 50% of our business in the last couple of months. So that was absolutely brilliant. And as you say, who wouldn't want to be in one of those beautiful overwater bungalows in the private island? I just have a couple of quick questions.
Yes.
Jenny, one that's come through on the Q&A. So Gillian is saying, when will the USA cruises, ex-Miami resume? Obviously we note that you're doing the Caribbean cruises out of Barbados.
Yes.
As you said, I've been to Barbados. Highly recommend, by the way, that people do go out a couple of nights beforehand. We've got a host of different standard of hotels that we can arrange for you, but it's really a fantastic opportunity to see Barbados. And if you fly in the same day as you cruise, you don't really get to see the island at all. So definitely think about extending your stay on that beautiful island. But when do you think cruises ex-Miami will start?
Well, actually, I had touched on it briefly, but we actually had a sailing at the weekend, Freedom of the Seas sailed from Miami. So we actually had a sailing. Now it's just
for American passengers.
For you, yeah, for American passengers. I think, to be honest with you, I think once we get the green light on this side that we can travel, I don't see any reason why not. Why not?
Yeah, hopefully it'll be over the winter whenever America decides that they're going to let us enter. But obviously for the Caribbean cruises, it'd be really great to see that. So it's fairly confident that it'll be this winter.
I really do believe it's coming. And I think, look, we've got this green light in the UK. It's the 19th of July. You've now got that date of the 26th of July. So look, this is the first step that we can get to Europe and even a little bit further. So I really do believe it's coming. It really is. So just sit tight. It's coming.
Okay. And another one that's just popped up from Michael. When will the Baltic Cruises start? Was hoping to book for May or June next year.
Yeah, they will be there. The Baltic Cruises are on sale now for sure. As I said to you, when I was talking about the different ships, I'm just looking at just having a quick look here with the Baltic ones. Yeah, Voyager, we're on sale now. So just make contact with one of the Oasis travel shops and they look up some dates for you, but you can book that now, no problem.
Definitely, Michael. And if you're booking Friday or Saturday, you get the additional onboard credit, which comes in really handy for spa treatments and specialty restaurants and all that sort of thing. And then a good question here from Linda, who's saying that if the cruises are sailing at 50% capacity, does that mean that some facilities may not be open on the ship?
No, my understanding at the weekend, and I had quite a few colleagues in the office went on Anthem at the weekend, and everything is open. Everything is open. If anything, it's probably a nicer experience having less people on the ship. It'll probably never happen again. But no, everything is open. All the shows were open. The spa, everything. There was nothing that was closed. Obviously, social distancing measurements are in place. So there's less capacity, less people going to the shows, but everything was open at the weekend, and the experience was amazing, seemingly by all accounts that everyone I spoke to.
Yeah, okay. And I see, Kevin, you're asking for deals to the Caribbean next year. Kevin, what we can do is we'll have your email address and we can have a look at that tomorrow for you and see what we can do. We just need to contact you just to see how many people it's for and what month you can travel and that sort of thing. But the cruising, as I say, represents fantastic value for money, and definitely for the Caribbean ones, the sooner you book it the better, because usually you get cheaper airfares booking them early. So that's really important to take into consideration too. But look, Jenny, I just want to say a big thank you to you for inspiring us.
I'm sorry I spoke so long. I can't believe it's 9 o'clock. I said to Sandra, I'll be about half an hour. But we just always have so much to talk about, and you know, there's so much happening at the moment. And I'm just so excited, you know, that we're back sailing again, and we look forward to welcoming all these lovely customers that are on this evening, hopefully back on board one of our ships.
I know, well, you've certainly given us all something to look forward to, and I think everybody just needs that at the minute, just something to look forward to. So just a reminder to everyone that our offices are still open just between 10 o'clock and 4 o'clock, between Monday and Saturday. But from Monday to Friday, we have a team on telephones answering those until 8 o'clock in the evening. And Monday is the only day we'll be closed, obviously for the public holiday on the 12th of July. But we really appreciate you checking in with us tonight. We really love doing these events now. They've become a regular occurrence.
Thank you so much, everybody, for coming on. We really appreciate it, and I hope you found this evening useful. And don't forget that extra $50 on board spend if you book with Oasis Travel before close of business Saturday, and the other onboard spend up to $300 is in place until close of business on Monday. But obviously Saturday will be much better to make the booking. Thank you.
Fantastic. Okay, good night, everybody. Thank you.